Hi guys, welcome to today's podcast. Today we have the amazing Dr. Doan with us on the podcast. So excited to have her on and just get to know you a little bit better. You are so much fun already in person. I want to hear your story, how you started just from the start.
So I started injecting back in 2017. I actually got botched. Yep, I got botched. I didn't know any better. I felt like injections weren't for me. Went to a second provider for a second opinion, and he injected me even more. So I got scared. I started reversing myself. So then a year later, I told myself, yes, and I think I can do this. I mean, I love injections. So when I got in, I worked for a few people. I quickly knew I wanted to go on my own soon after. Then I opened my place for 5 years now.
Wow.
Yep. And when I first started, it was just me. I joked that I was the plumber, the gardener, doctor. I did it all. And now I have a team of about 10 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you started injections?
I'm a family medicine by trade.
Okay.
I did ER, ICU, urgent care, and primary care.
Wow. And did you love that while you had that season of your life?
I think it's important to have medicine definitely in the background. In aesthetics, it's more than just glitz and glams. There's truly the medicine side. I always say when it comes to aesthetics, there's two parts. There's a skin medicine, and then there's like the skin aesthetics, right? So the skin medicine is where I got where the medicine came into.
Wow. And so you quickly transitioned to there and you went solo by yourself. How soon did you hire on somebody?
I would say, so when I first started, I had very little people, very little clients. They would come from the other clinics. Then I knew the key to success was pre-booking.
Wow.
So I kept pre-booking and pre-booking. Then when I got to 6 months fully booked,
Wow.
I closed my books. I was so busy that I literally had to call injectors around me and were like, are you taking clients? Here's new clients.
Wow.
Then I realized I wasn't losing money, but I wasn't making more.
Gotcha.
So then I hired Vita, which is my PA. She's been since day one.
Wow.
So I would say about 8 to 9 months after I opened.
Wow. What does fully booked look like for you at that time?
At the time,
What did fully booked look like for you at that time?
6 months. 6 months.
So for
solidly booked.
Just every single day, Monday through
Every
Friday?
single day. 7 days.
7 days
no
a
kids.
week. Oh my gosh. No kids?
No kids.
Oh, that's a big help right there.
My husband calls it husband time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's so true. Wow. So for a little bit, I'm imagining that you didn't have much work-life balance.
No.
Yeah. So you were
I had a lot of student loans.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So you hired on Vita, and then did you shortly hire on another esthetician or?
I did actually.
Okay.
Good question. So I hired an esthetician. She wasn't my employee.
Okay.
She she was her own entity.
Okay.
Then when I hired her on, it was nice. They really complemented each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, and so you were fully booked. That's actually a really short amount of time that you got fully booked. What do you do differently that makes the client experience so desirable?
So I'm really big about, like you mentioned, making the experience desirable, unparalleled, unmatched. There are multiple things I do, but I would say probably the number one is I numb them everywhere. I don't do just topical numbing because everyone does that. So what I do is I do a lot of liquid numbing. So it'll take the pain from 6, 7 to 1 or 2.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I can really understand that from a personal experience. I've never been injected, and I mean, we just did the fake injection, but I've never been numbed so like seamlessly by someone before. So you can really feel that touch and that special touch that you have. Do you think that that's a skill that you have to learn as far as gentle touch goes?
Yes, I think it's important as an injector that you get injected because you don't know how it feels. It really tells you like how fast to go, how slow to go.
Yeah.
What else?
No, this is good. Yeah. So being injected is such a good point. And I think that will make or break the experience, the client experience. So for you and you becoming this like such a desirable injector. How did you create a name for yourself?
How did I create a name for myself?
Like what makes you so different? What makes that Dr. Doan magic?
I started following all these big accounts. And then one summer I just analyzed like each account, like what are they doing that I'm not doing? I realized there was one account that had like consistent poses, which are front 30-90.
Okay.
Lighting, as you know, is so important. So her lighting was consistent. I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. Second, I had another account where their caption was so captivating. So I knew, I was like, okay, I have boring caption.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know the idea of something called the hook. So when you write your caption, your first sentence has to be the hook. So you gotta hook them in. I also learned that the hook is kind of like the curiosity line.
Yeah.
You want to make it where they're curious and they're gonna click on your caption to read it. So I started doing that. And then, but just me for myself, I'm very direct. And so, but obviously it comes in a loving, honest, ethical way. And people feel that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me so different, because I'm very transparent. I say it like it is, but they know it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Where I think most injectors, they don't voice about it. And so I kind of stand out in that way, because they're like, wait, who's this girl?
Yeah. I love that. So for your consultations and you know, having that whole process, what makes a good consultation?
Consultation is huge. So as we all know that I come from medicine, when I got into this field in aesthetics, I felt like I kind of lost that a little bit. And in medicine, we talk about what we call the ADPP, which is Assessment, Diagnose, Priority Plan. Most injectors jump straight to the plan. For example, they'll say your cheeks are hollow, you need 2 syringes. With the 2 syringes, it's gonna give you a youthful, balanced look. So the word youthful, balanced, 2 syringes, those are the 3 plans.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, where's your proper assessment? And then where was her diagnosis? Based on her diagnosis, that will determine the plan. So injectors were skipping the ADP, assessment, diagnose, property, and jump straight to the plan. And so as you can see, they kind of lose touch about that.
Oh yeah.
So the problem with the plan is it's what we call result-based consultation. You have to do what I do, what is called symptom-based consultation. And that's what makes my consultation so different, because it's the symptom that will determine the plan and the treatment, not the results.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I've been to so many, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me, and that's in the treatment room where somebody tries to just put 2 syringes in me and that's going to fix everything. I know that you're all about symmetry and you only do full face, right?
Yes.
And so what's the reasoning behind that?
So when I first started, just like everyone else, I did a bunch of lips, a bunch of cheeks. I realized they were looking off. I didn't know what it was initially. So I started playing around with just the adjacent area. So when I did lips, I knew I had to do chin. When injectors caught onto the chin, I did chin shadow.
Yeah.
When they did chin shadow, I started doing full face. And then when they caught on full face, I started making full face mandatory. So the reason behind the full face is 2 things. You want seamless transition, adjacent area to the next, but you also want them to age in the same decade.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And then you teach about your consultations as well. How many conferences have you done at this point?
Good question. So I constantly say no to conferences because I feel like it's something that I can just do on my own. So I finally had my first on my own international conference in Toronto, and I plan to do more. So my next one will probably be in the US for sure.
Okay.
I'm thinking about summer 2025.
Love it. Oh my goodness. And how did the first one go?
Oh, amazing.
It
was
Canada.
So good. Yeah. It was small. I call it a mini conference, but everyone that left there said it was so well worth it. The return on investment is, as long as they implement what I taught them, especially the consultation, they'll make back what they paid.
Yeah. So what exactly can they expect from, I know you do shadow days as well. What can they expect with shadow days? And then what can they expect with going to your conference?
So the conference mainly just consists of consultation and probably we touch on a little bit on business, but when it comes to the in-person, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'll go from consultation to the full business, how to make more money, how I bring in new clients, and what happens when they inquire. I talk about social media as well.
Okay. I love your social media. I mean, how did you figure out your colors, your branding, everything?
Branding is so huge. Every branding has a color palette. So I wanted to be timeless. That was the biggest one, just timeless and minimalist. And so I want it where when you're looking at my feed, it's not busy to the eye.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just random colors, you know, but the biggest thing is neutral.
Yes.
Because in this field, it's not just females that we're treating, we're also treating male as well. So you want to make it in a way where guys are willing to inquire because it brands to them as well.
Yeah, and your branding is so beautiful. I mean, even your new space and your new location, how long did that take for you to have a storefront location? Was that always the goal?
Storefront was right away.
Okay. You're at a storefront, but your bigger location.
Right. So I went from 700 square feet to now 6 times bigger. This is 4,200 square feet.
Wow.
It took a minute. I had to get a lot of capital.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that you turn away clients now if they're not a good fit for you. How do you determine that a client's a good fit for you, or turning them away? How do you say no?
So when clients reach out to me, I can kind of tell their personality. But when I'm asking them what they're looking for, what they're hoping for, I need to see if they're open to doing full face. And if they're not, unfortunately, I tell them I am a full face balancing injector. I don't do single area, which are lips only, cheeks only. If it's when they are ready for full face, reach back out. That's literally exactly what I tell them.
Okay.
I even tell them I'm more than happy to find someone around in the town that will do their just lips only, but I don't take them for that.
Yeah. Do you use that in your marketing, that you're just a full face?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So, and I know that a lot of the time we think about, treating one area, but it truly does make a difference if you only treat one area, right? Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And how I got to full face was once I got to 6 months booked, I realized that I was able to be selective. And again, this is an elective. You're allowed to be selective.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so when I realized I was being selective, I had to determine, what am I selecting? Am I only taking on clients with just lips again?
Yeah.
Or can I demand full face, right?
Oh, yeah.
And full face really gives you that seamless result. And again, aging the same decade.
Yeah.
And so once I figured that out, that's when that rule came out.
Wow, that's like the secret recipe, right?
Yep.
So would you recommend that all injectors only do full face?
That's the goal. I think initially most injectors will go from single areas such as doing lips to what we call partial face. Is where, for example, if they do the lips, chin shadow, marionette, and that alone will complete the lower face transformation. So as long as they do baby steps, so let's say maybe next appointment for the client, they can do mid face, which includes under eyes, mid cheek, and folds, and then eventually they'll get that full face result at the end.
Yeah.
For me, what makes me different is I make them do full face in one visit.
Wow. And so how long does an appointment usually take for full face?
3 to 5 hours.
Wow.
Yes, that's the reason why it's hard to get in. Yep.
So for the client, are they relaxed the whole time? Does numbing last that long? I'm so curious.
I actually will re-numb them.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. And so as far as comfort goes, do you use that metal thing the whole time?
Yes.
Your little
the vibrator.
Yes. Exactly. The vibrator.
I love it.
Right. I know. That's amazing.
It's the idea behind that is it distracts from the pain. So when the pain signal comes down to the site, part of it goes to the vibrator and part of it goes to the site.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So is there anything else besides the numbing that you do during the client experience to make it seamless for them to come back?
I would say the numbing's the big one.
Okay. So numbing's the biggest thing.
Biggest one because when they come back for the next appointment, they're not dreading, they're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. And your clients pre-book a year out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Because they can't get in.
Yes, that's amazing. And I know that you just moved into this beautiful location. You were right a few doors down before.
Yep.
And so space was very limited. How was the whole process? How many employees did you have? Did you bring everybody here or hire on new ones?
I did. I brought everyone here.
Okay.
I don't really have a high turnover rate.
Yeah.
So I had about 6 providers, or sorry,
Wow.
6 staff.
Okay.
And then now we're going to grow to about 14.
Oh my gosh. So what services do you currently offer?
So injectables for sure. So Botox and fillers. We also do radiation sculpture, which are biostimulatory fillers.
Okay.
On the esthetician side, we have hydrofacial. We got Airlace laser. We got a very special melasma peel that my esthetician developed.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And how do you select employees? What are your factors, your qualifications?
Yes. In general, I need staff that has great energy, great vibe. I'm sure you agree that I'm a smaller clinic, so we all work together, right?
Yeah.
So energy is everything.
Oh yeah.
But I want someone that's like that is a hustler, takes initiative. What else?
Skilled.
Skilled, yes. Where I'm at in my career, I'm not able to train other injectors. So I need someone that's very well experienced. But once they come in, they do shadow me.
Wow.
So when they shadow me, I'll teach them like how I inject. Because when people come here, they want my results,
Yes.
right? So I pass it on to my injectors.
Yeah, and that must take a lot of trust in
Yes.
somebody. That's like,
Yes.
I'm sure everybody would dream to work for you because you're so amazing.
Thank you.
Of course. And you just developed your own medical supply company. That's huge.
Yes.
How did that process happen?
So I started doing something called Pure F Gel for under eyes. Then I realized that the kit that we were buying, it was so expensive. And when I started analyzing why was it so expensive, because there's too many products that we don't even reach. I just throw them away, to be honest. So I realized, I said, you know what? I wanna provide a solution.
Yeah.
I remember reading this business quote where they said, don't reinvent. Just provide a solution.
Wow.
And that always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So then I realized, I said, you know what? I'll take this kit and just break down to what we need only. Again, no less, no more. And make it the most affordable so that it's more profit margins in their pocket.
Wow. I know we're always finding ways to like profit for our business. And
Yep.
I feel like companies just throw in things just to throw in. And you're right. You need to find a solution to the problem.
Yes.
So that is genius. You found a hole in the market for your industry, which
I
is
did.
huge.
I did.
And
But
then
quality isn't affected.
Yeah.
You still produce the same amount or more of products.
no, totally. So my last question is, what piece of advice would you give to a business owner?
For a business owner, I would say the biggest one that was a turnaround for me is when I used to charge by per syringe to per area. Literally overnight, I triple my income.
Wow.
I started doing that because I realized that we were training clients to think in syringes. And honestly, when it comes to result, the way I do is no matter how much it takes me, no matter how much amount it takes me to do that area, I just do it until it gets pretty. And then I just charge one flat fee.
Wow. That's
So
really,
that was the biggest turning point for me.
that is so amazing. And then lastly, where can people find you? Where can they find your medical supply company, and where can they find you on Instagram?
Medical supply company soon to launch is
Okay.
doseeffect.com.
Okay.
It's where they'll find the PRF gel kits, the PRF liquid kits. I will be carrying those 1 ml glass syringes that they can use to backfill with filler.
Okay.
Because right now they're using BD syringe, which technically isn't the most sterile way to do it.
Okay.
Then I will be carrying those female connectors, which are very expensive right now on the market.
Okay.
And then what was your other question?
Where can they find you on Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. So it's
Or all socials.
Yes. So it's doctor. So it's DR point or period THUY period DOAN.
Love it. If you are an injector watching this right now, make sure you go ahead and look out for Dr. Doan's Shadow Days that she's opening up. She is so amazing. And if you are already watching this and it's sold out, make sure you sign up for the next one because they will go fast. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Doan, for being on today's podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.